All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes.
What were your thoughts when you heard that phone call?
You know, it's sad to watch a president of the United States, someone who is the leader of the most powerful nation on the planet, to be such a snowflake when it comes to their own selves.
Democratic Congressman Mark Pocan of Madison told us that he has serious concerns about the president's recorded phone conversation. Two fellow Democrats in Congress have asked the FBI to investigate whether any laws were broken. Do you think there should be an investigation?
Well, you know, I think there should be an investigation. A call from a president to try to put pressure on an elected official to find votes, certainly I think is something that rises to needing to have an investigation.
I listened to the audio. Doesn't look good.
Republican Congressman Mike Gallagher of the Green Bay area told radio talk show host Steve Scafidi he's unsure whether the president may have been asking for suspected fraudulent ballots to submit as evidence of fraud.
I guess they could say that, but the alternative is he's just straight up asking him, like, find me 11,000 ballots.
While Pocan says he has no doubt about the president's motive.
Try to ultimately get people to potentially break the law to try to stay in power is not good for this country. It's not good for democracy.
Again, Congressman Pocan made some news of his own today, saying he won't run for Ron Johnson's seat in the U.S. Senate.
Yeah, that's right, Patrick. There's been a lot of speculation about that. A lot of people urging Pocan to run for that Senate seat in 2022. He told me today that he's happy where he is in the House with his committee assignment, and he wanted to end that speculation now and clear the way for that race to move forward without him.